So for the first time in my entire life, I actually played a GTA game from start to finish, and it was Grand Theft Auto 3, the definitive edition in this case. And while there were a lot of good things about this game, for this video I found my top 3 favorite things that I loved so much about the game. The first thing that I really liked about GTA 3 was the atmosphere of the game. You know, you have Liberty City that obviously is split into 3 different regions, but the game really has this dark, gritty vibe to it. And we got rain, we got fog, that create kind of this moody feel that still immerses us 20-25 years after its release. And while the definitive edition obviously came with a lot of visual upgrades, even when I looked at gameplay from the from the original GTA 3, they definitely put a lot of emphasis into creating a great atmosphere for this game. And while the game's open world is based on those, cities like New York, for example, I mean, it's very, very vaguely done. You cannot expect a Spider-Man New York type of open world, obviously. But still, for a game this old, I think that they managed to do this very well, and you really feel the differences between those 3 regions very well in my opinion, and can distinguish between those very well. And when it comes to the atmosphere, I also have to mention the radio of the game, because while it's just, a small thing, it really has a huge impact. While driving a car, it really takes you back to those early 2000s, because the choices of the music and of the titles in it, and the radio itself just feels so nostalgic, even though I have never played this game before. Also very impressive in my opinion that they created as many radio stations and really put a whole program and whole musical lineup for those radio stations. That was pretty impressive, even though I only listened to 2-3 in the entire playthrough probably. The next thing that I really loved about GTA 3 is the freedom. And now for hardcore GTA fans that will not be anything new, but for me, this being the first game that I probably play through, it was a really nice change from other games. You can pretty much do anything in this game. You can steal cars, start chaos, and ignore the main story completely. Just roam through the city and do bullshit pretty much. Like once I decided that I just wanted to get the highest wanted ranking that there was in the game, and things went absolutely insane. The chaos that I caused was gigantic, and you are really immersed in those moments because you can pretty much decide what you're going to do, whether you do some main storylines or whether you're going to do some side missions, or whether you're just going to steal a car, beat NPCs up, or kill the police. It doesn't matter. You have the freedom of choice in this game, which is something that I really want, and this game doesn't take any bullshit. You can beat up pretty much anybody, whether it's an older lady, whether it's a younger woman. You can beat up everybody, and the game allows it. And the next great thing that I got to point out here is the voice acting of the game and the characters. Obviously the main protagonist doesn't speak. That is something that I do not like. I've talked about that in my Far Cry reviews, that I just don't like when protagonists are mute. But the characters that we did have were very, very well voiced. Whether it's Salvatore Leone with that Italian New Yorkers style accent, or Donald Love, who sounds completely different, like this rich American guy. They really voiced the characters in this game extremely well. The women were kind of weird sometimes, especially when they were angry, but for the men, and especially for the Italians, they nailed the voice acting in this game. And the voice acting is really much more important than we often realize, because if you give those characters, or those fictional characters, a good and proper voice, they will be much more memorable. Like I remember Donald Love, just if I hear his voice, I will remember and know who he is. So they play a really big role, and that is definitely one thing that I nailed in GTA 3. But I'll be releasing my full review of the game, because there were a lot of things that I didn't quite like in GTA 3, to be honest, and I'll be making this review whether it's worth it in 2025 and you should play it or not, obviously, because GTA 6 coming out next year. Probably a lot of people want to play the older games, so I'll make a review regarding GTA 3 soon. I'm playing GTA Vice City right now, and we'll be replaying all of the prior games before GTA 6 comes out next year. So subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss those videos. And tell me your opinions on GTA 3, whether you have played the definitive edition or the original one, and what your favorite things are. Or is it hard for you to find proper things where you say, yeah, I loved those things? I also didn't want to include things like the story, for example. I didn't want to include the, typical generic or general stuff that people say. I wanted to go a bit deeper, and those were my 3 things that I really liked that not a lot of people talk about. But as I said, my review of the full game, and if it's worth it today, will be coming out in probably this week or next week. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I wish you all an amazing day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.